everyone! Welcome back to Love English Lab, where you learn to speak English naturally, confidently, and with real conversations that feel alive. I'm Megan, and I'm really happy you're here with us.
And I'm David. If you want to keep improving your English with real, practical topics like this one, don't forget to subscribe and join our community of learners from all over the world.
Today, we're talking about something very important for communication: how to stop sounding rude in English and what to say instead.
Yes, this is a big problem for many learners. They do not want to be rude, of course, but sometimes their English sounds too direct, too strong, or even a little cold.
Exactly. Often it is not because their personality is rude. It is because they are translating directly from their first language or using the first phrase they learned in class.
For example, many people say, "give me that," or "repeat," or "you are wrong." These sentences are grammatically correct, but in real life they can sound quite rude in English.
Right. In many cultures, it is normal to be very direct. But in English, especially in international or professional situations, people often soften their words. They add small phrases that make the message sound kind and respectful.
Things like, "could you," "would you mind," "can you please," or even "I think," instead of "you're wrong." These tiny changes can completely transform how people feel when they listen to you.
And this is not only about being polite in a formal way, it is really about connection. When you sound softer and more friendly, people feel safe with you. They want to continue the conversation.
Yes, but here is the problem. Many learners study grammar and vocabulary, but nobody shows them how tone and word choice can make them sound rude or kind.
Exactly. So you might be using perfect grammar and still giving the wrong impression. Maybe your boss thinks you are angry. Maybe your friend feels you are cold. Maybe your teacher thinks you are not very respectful.
In this lesson, we want to fix that. We will show you the phrases that often sound rude in English and then give you natural alternatives that sound soft, polite, and friendly.
We will talk about how to ask for things politely, how to say no without hurting people, how to correct someone, and how to talk about problems in a more gentle way.
And the good news is, you do not need to change your personality. You only need a few small habits, a few magic phrases that you can use again and again.
As you listen, try to imagine real situations from your life: at work, at school, with friends or family. Think about the phrases you usually use. Do they sound too direct in English? Could you replace them with something softer?
Our goal is simple. After this episode, you will still say what you need to say, but people will feel respected, heard, and comfortable when they talk to you.
You will stop sounding rude by accident and start sounding confident, calm, and polite on purpose.
So, if you have ever worried that your English sounds too strong, or if someone told you that you sound a little direct, this lesson is for you.
Let's get started. In the first chapter, we'll look at common rude-sounding ways to ask for things, and then show you the natural, polite phrases you can use instead. So, David, I think we should begin with the situation where learners usually sound the most direct, asking for something.
Yes, this is a very common problem. When learners translate from their first language, they often use short commands like "give me," "send me," or "tell me." These are not wrong grammatically, but in English they can sound very strong.
Exactly. And people may think you are angry or impatient, even if that's not true. That is why learning softer, natural ways to ask for things is a big step towards sounding polite and confident.
One of the easiest ways is to add a small helper phrase before the request. For example, instead of saying "give me the pen," you can say "could you pass me the pen?"
Yes, it is gentle, friendly, and still very clear. Another one is, can you please? For example, can you please open the window?
And notice how the meaning is the same. You're still asking for the pen or the window, but your tone becomes softer.
Right? And here is something important. In English, polite requests usually sound like questions, not commands. Even when you need something quickly, the question format shows respect.
For example, imagine you are at work and you need a document. If you say, "send me the file," your coworker might feel you are giving an order, but if you say, "could you send me the file when you have a moment?" it feels calm and respectful.
Yes, and adding when you have a moment or when you get a chance makes it even more natural. It shows you understand the other person may be busy.
I love that phrase because it is soft but still clear. You are not waiting forever, but you are also not pushing.
Another simple trick is to use would you mind? It sounds very polite. For example, would you mind helping me with this? Or would you mind sending me the link?
Yes. Would you mind? Is very gentle. It shows that you care about the other person's comfort. It is almost impossible to sound rude when you use it.
But we should also mention how tone can change everything. If someone says, "Can you send me the file?" with a soft voice, it sounds fine. But if they say it quickly or with stress, it can sound impatient.
Very true. Politeness is not only the words, but also the rhythm and the feeling behind them.
Let us model a few examples. David, I will say the direct version, and you give the soft version.
Perfect. Let us try.
Give me your notes.
Could you share your notes with me?
Send me the address.
Can you please send me the address?
Repeat.
Could you say that again, please?
Yes, that one is important. Repeat sounds very strong in English, almost like a teacher giving a command.
Exactly. One extra phrase makes it polite immediately. Could you repeat that for me? Or, sorry, could you say that again?
And this works in so many situations. You can soften almost any request with these small phrases.
Another good habit is to add a tiny introduction before your request, something like, I was wondering, or, do you think you could?
Yes. For example, I was wondering if you could help me with this part. It sounds thoughtful and patient.
Or, do you think you could call me later? It sounds kind, not demanding.
Some learners worry that these longer phrases are too formal, but actually, they are used everywhere, in workplaces with friends, even in casual conversations.
Exactly. They are polite but also friendly. Not too formal, not too informal. Just right.
Now let us imagine a real-life situation. I will ask you something in a very direct way. You turn it into a polite English request.
Sounds good.
Open the door.
Could you open the door for me?
Give me the report.
Could you send me the report when you have a moment?
Tell me the answer.
Do you think you could share the answer with me?
Great. Notice how the polite versions feel softer but still clear.
Yes, and that is the goal. You do not need to sound passive or shy. You are simply showing respect.
Another tip is to add please, but only once. Learners sometimes think adding please makes everything polite, but if they repeat it in the same sentence, it can sound unnatural.
For example, please, can you please send me the file? Sounds strange. You only need one.
Right. One please is perfect, simple and natural.
And if you want to sound even more friendly, you can add a small thank you at the end. Could you send me the file? Thank you.
Yes. Ending with thank you always helps. It shows appreciation, not pressure.
To close this chapter, let us give a simple frame. Learners can follow.
Step 1. Avoid command forms like give me, send me, or open.
Step 2. Use soft starters like could you, can you please, or would you mind?
Step 3. Add gentle timing phrases, such as when you have a moment.
Step 4. Keep your tone calm, friendly, and patient.
Step 5. End with a simple thank you when possible.
With these habits, your request will sound polite, confident, and natural.
And in the next chapter, we will talk about something even more sensitive, how to correct someone or disagree without sounding rude. Now that we have talked about polite requests, let us move to something even more delicate, correcting someone or disagreeing in English.
Yes, this is a big challenge. Many learners use very direct phrases like, you're wrong, that's not correct, or no, that's not true. These sentences are clear, but they can sound too strong, even a little aggressive.
Exactly. And the problem is that most learners don't mean to sound rude. They just want to share their opinion or correct a detail. But in English, direct corrections can feel like criticism.
That's why English speakers often use softening phrases. These little phrases help you disagree or correct someone in a polite, respectful way.
One of the most useful ones is I think or I don't think. For example, instead of saying you're wrong, you can say I don't think that's correct or I think there may be a mistake.
Yes, those versions feel calm and thoughtful. You are still correcting the person, but you are not attacking them.
Another good phrase is actually, but you must say it gently. For example, actually, I heard it starts at 7. Or, actually, I believe the answer is different.
Right. Actually is very common in English, but the tone is important. Said softly, it sounds polite. Said too quickly, it can sound sharp.
Exactly. Tone matters as much as the words.
Another useful phrase is, I might be wrong, but, for example, I might be wrong, but I think the meeting is tomorrow.
That one is great. It shows humility, even if you are sure you're right. It makes the correction feel friendly.
Yes. And here is another trick. Use maybe or perhaps. For example, maybe we should check the schedule again, or perhaps the answer is different.
Those are very soft. They invite the other person to think, instead of telling them they made a mistake.
Another popular phrase is from what I understand, or from what I remember. These phrases explain that you are speaking from your point of view, not trying to control the conversation.
And learners should also avoid beginning with no. For example, instead of saying, no, it's the other way, you could say, I think it might be the other way.
Yes, that small change makes a big difference.
Let us try a few examples. I will say the direct version, and you transform it politely.
Perfect.
You are wrong.
I don't think that's correct.
That is not true.
Actually, I heard something different.
That is not the answer.
Maybe the answer is something else.
No, that is not what happened.
From what I remember, it happened differently.
Great. All of these are gentle, but still clear.
Yes, and we should also talk about disagreeing in conversations because this happens a lot.
Definitely. When someone gives an opinion, learners sometimes respond very directly. I disagree. That's wrong. Or, no, that's not right.
Those are not rude in theory, but they can sound very strong in English conversation.
A softer way is to use, I see your point, but, or, I understand what you mean, but. These phrases show respect before you share your own idea.
Yes, for example, I see your point, but I think we need more time. Or, I understand what you mean, but I have a different view.
Another one I like is, that's interesting. My experience has been a little different. It is polite and very natural.
Yes, it is a beautiful way to disagree without causing conflict.
Let us try a few disagreements. You say something, and I will disagree politely.
Okay, I think everyone should learn early in the morning.
That's interesting. For me, evenings work better.
I believe the test is next week.
From what I remember, I think it's tomorrow.
This movie is terrible.
I see what you mean, but I actually enjoyed it.
Each response is polite, honest, and soft.
Yes, and these expressions help you avoid sounding rude even in emotional conversations.
Another habit that helps is asking questions before correcting. For example, are you sure? Or do you think it could be something else?
Yes, because questions feel less direct than statements. They make the other person think without feeling attacked.
And remember, disagreeing politely is not about being less confident. It is about communicating with respect.
Exactly. You can still express your opinion clearly while protecting the relationship.
So let us end this chapter with a simple frame.
Step 1. Avoid direct phrases like, you are wrong, or no, that's wrong.
Step 2. Use softeners like I think, I don't think, actually, or maybe.
Step 3. Use empathy phrases like, I see your point, or I understand what you mean.
Step 4. Use a calm tone, not a fast or sharp one.
Step 5. Remember the goal, not to win the argument, but to communicate with respect.
With these habits, you can correct or disagree without sounding rude.
And in the next chapter, we will talk about how to say no in English in a way that sounds kind, polite, and confident. Now, let us talk about something that makes many learners nervous, saying no in English.
Yes, this is a big challenge. Many people feel that saying no will make them sound rude or unfriendly, so they avoid it. But the truth is, native speakers say no all the time. The secret is how they say it.
Exactly. If you simply say no or I can't, it can sound a little too direct. Not wrong, but sharp. English speakers usually soften their no with friendly phrases before or after the rejection.
One of the most common softeners is I'd love to, but, or I wish I could, but. These phrases show kindness before you give your real answer.
Yes. For example, if someone invites you to dinner and you cannot go, you could say, I'd love to, but I have plans tonight. It sounds warm and respectful.
Another one is I'm not able to. It is gentle and clear. For example, I'm not able to help today, but maybe tomorrow.
And if you need something even softer, you can say, I don't think I can. It is polite and honest, without sounding too firm.
Exactly. It's softer because it shows doubt instead of absolute refusal.
There is also a very polite option, unfortunately. For example, unfortunately, I won't be able to attend. That word makes the rejection feel more empathetic.
Yes, unfortunately is a magic word. It shows that you understand the situation and feel sorry that you cannot help.
Another good phrase is, maybe next time. It gives the other person hope and keeps the relationship positive.
Let's model a few examples. I will say the direct no, and you give the soft version.
Great, let's do it.
No, I can't help.
I wish I could help, but I'm not able to right now.
I can't go.
I'd love to, but I don't think I can make it tonight.
No, I don't want to.
I really appreciate the offer, but I'll pass this time.
Perfect. Your versions sound gentle, but still clear.
Yes, the goal is to protect your time while also protecting the relationship.
And here's another tip. Giving a short explanation makes your no feel more polite. Not a long story, just one simple reason.
For example, I'd love to join you, but I have an early meeting tomorrow. Or, I wish I could, but I'm already working on something important.
Exactly. A small explanation shows respect and makes the no easier to accept.
Another trick is to offer an alternative. For example, I can't today, but I'm free on Saturday. Or, I can't help with that, but I can help with something else.
Yes, alternatives make you sound cooperative, not negative.
One more useful phrase is, I'm not comfortable with that. This is a soft but firm way to say no in sensitive situations.
That one is great because it communicates a boundary without sounding rude. For example, I'm not comfortable sharing my password.
Let's role play a few real situations. You ask me something, and I will say no, politely.
Can you work late tonight?
I'd love to help, but I already have plans this evening.
Can I borrow your phone?
I'm sorry, I'm not comfortable lending my phone, but I can help you find the information you need.
Can you come to my party tomorrow?
It sounds fun, but I won't be able to make it. Maybe next time.
All of those sound friendly and respectful.
Yes, and notice how they all start with something positive. I'd love to. I'm sorry. It sounds fun. I appreciate it. That positive start softens the no.
Another habit English speakers use is slowing down their voice. A calm tone makes your message sound kind.
Exactly. You can say the same sentence in a rude way or in a gentle way depending on your tone.
And sometimes learners forget they can say no with a question. For example, could we do it another day? Or would it be okay if we tried something else?
Yes, questions feel less confrontational and more cooperative.
Before we close this chapter, we should remind learners that saying no is not rude. It is part of healthy communication.
Absolutely. You can respect others and still protect your time, energy, and boundaries.
So let us end with a simple frame for polite refusals.
Step 1. Start with a positive phrase like, I'd love to, or I appreciate it.
Step 2. Add your no gently with phrases like, but I don't think I can, or but I'm not able to.
Step 3. Give a short, honest explanation if possible.
Step 4. Offer an alternative when appropriate.
Step 5. Use a calm tone to keep the conversation friendly.
With these habits, your no will sound respectful, confident, and kind.
In the next chapter, we will look at another tricky area, how to talk about problems or complaints without sounding rude or negative. Now let us talk about another situation that can feel difficult for learners, talking about problems or making a complaint without offending anyone.
Yes, this is important. When something goes wrong, a mistake at work, a delay, a misunderstanding, many learners describe the problem in a very direct way, and that can sound rude even if they do not mean it.
For example, they might say, "This is wrong, this is bad, you did it incorrectly," or "Why did you do that?" These sentences are strong and can make people feel attacked.
Exactly. In English, we usually soften our language to keep the conversation calm and respectful. We focus on solutions, not blame.
One of the easiest softeners is, there seems to be, for example, instead of saying, "This is wrong," you can say, "There seems to be a mistake here."
Yes, that phrase is gentle and professional. It communicates the problem without attacking anyone.
Another helpful one is, "I think something might be off." It is soft, friendly, and perfect when you want to sound polite.
Right? You could say, I think something might be off with this number, instead of this number is wrong.
And when you need to talk about a problem someone caused, a very soft introduction is, I noticed the file was missing," or "I noticed the dates were different."
That is great because it focuses on what you observed, not on the person.
Yes, it avoids the "you did this" feeling.
Another very common phrase in English is, I'm having trouble with, for example, I'm having trouble opening the file, or I'm having trouble understanding this part. It turns the problem into something you are experiencing, not something someone else caused.
That's a wonderful trick. And it keeps things positive and solution focused.
Let us try a few examples. I will say the direct version and you make it polite.
Perfect.
This is wrong.
There seems to be a mistake here.
You sent me the wrong file.
I noticed the file looks different from what I expected.
I don't understand this.
I'm having trouble understanding this part.
Why did you do that?
Could you help me understand what happened here?
Much softer. You sound calm and respectful.
Yes, and still very clear. You are not hiding the problem. You are expressing it in a way that keeps the relationship positive.
Another useful phrase is, I wanted to check something with you. For example, I wanted to check something with you. Is this the final version?
That is great because it feels like teamwork. You are inviting the other person into the solution instead of pointing at the problem.
Exactly. And if you need to make a complaint, you can use gentle starters like, I'm a bit concerned about, or I'm not sure this is working well.
For example, "I'm a bit concerned about the delay," or "I'm not sure this approach is working well for us."
These phrases communicate the issue, but in a calm, collaborative way.
Another technique English speakers use is asking questions instead of making statements. For example, instead of "This is too slow," you could ask, "Do you think there's a faster way to do this?"
Yes, questions feel softer and more cooperative.
And here's another good one. "Maybe we could try." For example, "Maybe we could try a different method," or "Maybe we could check the numbers one more time."
These suggestions make you sound positive, not negative.
Let's role play a short scene. You bring me a problem directly, and I try to keep the conversation polite and constructive.
Megan, this design is wrong.
"Thanks for sharing it with me. I think something might be off. Let's take a look together."
You didn't follow the instructions.
"I noticed a few differences from the instructions. Let's review them so we can fix it."
This meeting is taking too long.
"I understand. Maybe we could focus on the main points to move things forward."
Excellent. Each version is polite but also proactive.
Yes, that is the key. Polite language does not mean weak language. You are still solving the problem.
And tone here matters a lot. A calm tone shows that the situation is under control, even if there is a problem.
Right? And when you speak kindly during stressful moments, people trust you more.
So let's end this chapter with a simple frame.
Step 1. Avoid direct blame phrases like "this is wrong" or "you did this."
Step 2. Use soft openings like there seems to be, I noticed, or I think something might be off.
Step 3. Ask questions instead of giving orders.
Step 4. Offer solutions with phrases like maybe we could.
Step 5. Keep your tone calm and friendly.
With these habits, you can talk about problems without sounding rude or negative.
And in the next chapter, we will explore our final topic: how to express opinions politely and confidently in English. talked about requests, corrections, refusals, and problems. Now let's move to one more sensitive area, giving your opinion without sounding rude or too direct.
Yes, this is really important. Sharing opinions is a normal part of conversations, but if you express them too strongly, people may feel criticized or uncomfortable.
Exactly. And many learners use very direct phrases like, I think you're wrong, that makes no sense, or you should do it this way. These can sound too sharp in English.
Instead, English speakers often use softeners before sharing their opinion. It makes the message sound open and respectful.
One of the most natural softeners is, I feel like. For example, instead of saying, you're doing it wrong, you can say, I feel like there's another way we could try.
Yes, that phrase is gentle. It shows that your opinion is personal, not an attack.
Another useful one is, in my opinion, or from my point of view. These reminders help people understand you are sharing your perspective, not a universal truth.
For example, in my opinion, this design could be simpler. Sounds much nicer than this design is wrong.
Absolutely. Another helpful phrase is, maybe we could. It invites collaboration instead of demanding change.
Yes, for example, maybe we could try a different approach, or maybe we could look at it this way.
Another softening technique is starting with something positive. For example, I like the idea, but maybe we can simplify it. You start with a compliment, then give your opinion.
That technique is called the positive first approach, and it is very polite. It shows you appreciate the other person's work.
Right? And it creates a safe atmosphere for sharing ideas.
Let's try transforming some direct opinions into polite ones. You say the direct version, I'll soften it.
Perfect. Your idea doesn't work.
I see where you're coming from, but maybe we could explore another option.
This is a bad plan.
From my point of view, this plan might need a little adjustment.
You're wrong about this.
I might see it differently. Here's what I'm thinking.
You should do it my way.
Maybe we could try this approach and see how it works.
Much better. All versions sound polite and respectful.
Yes, and they still communicate your opinion clearly.
Let's talk about disagreements in conversations too. When someone shares their opinion and you disagree strongly, how do you respond politely?
One of the most natural English phrases is, I see what you mean, but. This shows you are listening and respecting their idea before offering your own.
Yes. Another one is, that's an interesting point. I have a slightly different perspective. That phrase is soft, open, and very polite.
And here's a simple technique. Use maybe. For example, maybe we could think about it another way, or maybe there's another option.
Maybe is great because it doesn't force your opinion. It invites possibilities.
Exactly. Questions can also be helpful. For example, what if we tried this? Or how would it work if we changed this part?
Yes, those questions make you sound cooperative and curious, not judgmental.
Tone is also important here. If your voice is calm and steady, your opinion will sound polite. If your tone is sharp or stressed, even a polite phrase can sound rude.
Very true. And remember, you don't need to hide your opinion. You just need to share it in a way that maintains respect.
Let's do a short role play. You give a strong opinion and I'll respond politely.
David, this idea is not good.
I understand your concern. From my perspective, the idea still has potential. Maybe we can adjust it a little?
I don't like your plan.
That's okay. I appreciate your honesty. Let's look at both options and see which one works better.
That's perfect. You sound calm, confident, and respectful.
And that is the goal. Sharing your opinion doesn't have to create conflict.
Exactly. And the more you practice these softening phrases, the more natural they will feel.
So let's end this chapter with a simple frame to guide learners.
Step 1. Avoid strong, direct phrases like, you're wrong, or this is bad.
Step 2. Use softeners like I feel like, in my opinion, or from my perspective.
Step 3. Add gentle suggestions with maybe or what if.
Step 4. Start with something positive before offering a different idea.
Step 5. Keep your tone calm and open.
With these habits, your opinions will sound polite, friendly, and confident.
And now, it's time for our final reflection, where we bring all of these ideas together and talk about how changing your tone can change your whole English experience. We've reached the end of this lesson, and I think this topic is one of the most powerful ones we've ever taught. Because speaking English politely isn't just about vocabulary, it's about connection.
Yes, and many learners don't realize that tone and phrasing can change everything. The same idea can sound friendly or rude depending on the words you choose.
Exactly. And that's why learning these soft, natural expressions is so important. They help you communicate clearly and respectfully, the way native speakers do.
Let's think about what we covered today. We started with how to make requests sound polite. Instead of saying, give me, you learned to say, could you, or would you mind? These small changes create a big difference in how people react to you.
Yes. And then we talked about correcting people without sounding rude. You learned useful softeners like actually and I might be wrong, but these phrases help you sound helpful, not judgmental.
After that, we explored refusing or saying no politely. Direct refusals like I can't or no I won't can sound too strong, but softer options like I love to but I can't today or I'm not able to right now keep the relationship positive.
Exactly. And then we looked at expressing problems or complaints in a polite way.
And finally, we covered how to share your opinions politely. Opinion phrases like, in my opinion, from my perspective, or maybe we could try, show respect and open the door to collaboration.
Yes. And I think that's one of the biggest lessons from today's episode. Polite English is not about being weak or soft. It's about being clear, respectful, and emotionally intelligent.
Exactly. You can still express your needs, correct mistakes, share your feelings, or say no. You're simply doing it in a way that keeps the conversation friendly and comfortable.
And that's a huge part of fluency. Speaking well is not just about grammar or vocabulary, it's about relationships.
Yes, when you use polite language, people trust you more. They listen to you, they want to talk to you again. And that's what makes your English truly powerful.
I think learners should remember something important. Polite English is a skill you build with practice. At first, it feels slow or unnatural, but with time, these phrases become automatic.
And once they become automatic, everything changes. Your tone becomes smoother, your conversations become easier, and people feel more comfortable around you.
So if you've ever felt like you sound too direct, too serious, or even a little rude in English, remember, it's not your fault. It's just the difference between languages.
Exactly. And now you have the tools to fix it. You can make requests politely, correct gently, refuse softly, complain professionally, and share your opinion respectfully.
Use these phrases a little every day. Try them with coworkers, friends, family, anyone. Soon, you'll notice how much more natural your English sounds.
And people will notice it too. Your conversations will feel smoother, your relationships will feel stronger, and your confidence will grow.
So keep practicing, keep speaking with kindness, and keep improving one phrase at a time.
Thank you for joining us today.
And remember, polite English isn't just good English, it's powerful English.
Take care, everyone.
See you in the next lesson on Love English Lab.